What's up, Facebook? Today's going to be a little different. I'm going to read the daily reading. And then I'm going to go into something because my YouTube channel's ready. So, fuck. I'm trying to... Let's see. Look at that. I flipped right to. There was a paper in there. Alright. It says, trust me one day at a time. This keeps you close to me, responsive to my will. Trust is not a natural response, especially for those who have been deeply wounded. My spirit within you is your resident tutor, helping you in a supernatural endeavor. Yield to his gentle touch. Be sensitive to his prompting. Exert your will to trust me in all circumstances. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. I will equip you to get through this day victoriously as you live in deep dependence on me. Tomorrow is busy worrying about itself. Don't get tangled up in its worry webs. Trust me one day at a time. Trust me one day at a time. Okay. So, does that. Now, my YouTube thing, so this is going to be, YouTube and Facebook. So, YouTube, I had put this on Facebook prior, so that's why I'm kind of, if I'm talking kind of in second person or third person or something, just try to follow. Because I'm going to be talking to, like, people I know compared to you at the same time. Alright? My name's Brian. I had a rough life, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to do a whole life deal. Tonight ain't going to be that. Today. It's going to be, something happened to me, it changed my life, and it ruined it, I thought, for the most part. But I'm here today, and I'm happy. But what happened to me was so severe that I got brain damage, okay, that I didn't want to tell you about. So, I had a hard time remembering things, apparently. Because this, unbelievably, what I'm going to tell you just came back to me. Alright, now, let's see, this is back in 2001, okay? I'm going through divorce with my ex-wife. She just don't stay with my daughter. She's 2. Alright, then, I just got a shower, my lips are fucking dry. Then, since she was doing that, I was a deputy sheriff working in a jail at Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, Ohio. And I went to the academy while I was married, and then after I got in the jail, deputized and everything, my wife wanted to split, you know, which I'm glad that happened now with her. But when that happened, I'm sitting there with them feelings. So, and I got short-term memory loss. So if I'm talking, I'll probably forget what I'm saying. I know at least a couple times doing this. I'm also going to do, see, that's what I mean, I'm all over the place. I'm going to do a testimony too, about addiction and stuff. That's just going to be on YouTube. So, or maybe I'll put it on Facebook. I don't know the impact of having on Facebook. That's why, you know, I look like an old time crackhead, nut job, people. I'm 47, so YouTubers, this is what happens to you when you live the life I did. But, you know, you gotta look past that. Everybody, yeah, I know my teeth are jacked. I know my face is fucked. I know shit. You know, I used to be not pretty, but altogether, you know what I mean? But, that ain't how it is right now. But, anyway, the wife jumping state. I just bought a house too for us, out in the country, little house. I got my friends. Now that night was different. All right, I'm gonna tell you about the night I got brain damage and got beat. I'm gonna cuss Facebook or YouTube. I'm gonna tell you about when I got beat the fuck up, and I don't know how, but I do know I got. They broke the right side of my face and beat me in the back of the head with a spud bore, causing bleeding on my brain. All right. So with that being said, I was out with, or we're going out now, and I'm mentioning names. So, the only reason I said something about, hey, Green, don't kill me. Like when I was talking about when he killed Sean Lyons and, drove me to the bar. You know, he's a murderer. This dude wrecked a car, all fucked up, killed, one of my best friend's brothers in high school. We were kids, but they were in high school. And, got away with it. But, he thinks, God made him rich. You know, we'll get to that, yeah, for a reason. So you already know. You know what I mean? If somebody kills somebody like that, you know, and this dude's sketchy, selfish, you know, something's going to happen sooner or later. So anyway, this guy, he's older than me. His name's Jeff Green. He picks me up. He must have called or something. He picked me up that night for some reason. And we went to this bar called Mia's Bar in St. Clairsville, Ohio. Okay. Oh, and I just wanted to get my shit, cause I thought Green was actually capable of hiring somebody, cause his bitch ass, you know, I'd see him doing that. Hired somebody to get rid of me, so his dumbass name ain't mentioned because of slander or something, or not slander, fuck, he's a fucking killer. You know what I mean? A murderer, really. Murdered Sean Lyons, killed him, murdered, whatever you guys want to use. You know, God, may God, or rest in peace, may God bless Sean's soul, man, in heaven. But at that night with me, I come out of the bar. I remember coming out of the bar. Now I'm with Jeff Green. I go to the bar. I'm in the bar. All right. Now I got two wrestling buddies with me. All right. Let's see here. Who was all there? Tom Kennedy, Jeff Dobson, Ben Conway. He ain't a wrestler, but he was there. The rest is still a little foggy. But, when I come out of the bar, something happened. Okay. Now, the story I got is this kid from, Blair, Ohio. His name's Derek Kronk. He's dead now. He's the one that did all this. Broke my face. They broke my face on the right side. And that, Derek Kronk told me before he died on Facebook, we were having a little discussion back and forth on Messenger. He said that night I got beat in the back of the head with a spud bore. So I knew, you know, I know what they hit me in the back of the head with. But with that being said, all I know is there's a walkway. All right. Walkway out of the bar. And then there's the parking lot. You know, and then you go. I wake up. There ain't a soul around, all right? Now, I just got beat with a spud bar, okay? Now, my brain's bleeding on the back. I'm telling you that now. So from right at this point now, my brain's bleeding, okay? And my face is broke. I got all this shit. Alright? So I sit up and there's this big ass bouncer and the girl I was talking to then. And she was the only one there for me that night. And everybody else was gone. Okay, so I get in the car and she drives me home. I'm laying on the floor and it's Ben Conway I'm telling you about. He's a fireman, dude. Guys, girls. He opens the door of my house, looks in, sees me laying on my floor in my living room after this, shuts the door and leaves. So I don't know what the fuck was up with that, because he's a good kid. Alright, I'm gonna tell you that. Ben Conway's a good kid. He's a fireman, he's a fucking pro door breaker. I like it. I don't know what, that's the only involvement. I seen him, and then we never talked. So I don't know. You know, I don't see Ben, you know, he might have just left that night, but whatever. But that's my point. Here's my point. I'll go with Jeff Green, right, people? Now, when that happens, who's responsible for me? The person that drove me there, Jeff Green, right? He had left too. Now, none of this shit came to me, people, until the end of this past year, that everybody left me laying there for dead. So everybody that was pretending to be my friend at this time wasn't. Because who the fuck leaves a fucking deputy sheriff laying there unconscious? Regardless of the situation. If it's your friend, your brother, so-called. You know, I wrestled with Tom and Dobson, fuckers, since I was a freshman. You know what I mean? Dobson used to be my idol when I was a fucking kid. And then, you know, he was at the bar that night. So I don't know where, you know. If he just stepped over me and spit on me or something. But, so I'm at the house. All right, people. And I make it up to my bedroom. I wake up the next morning and my face is all swelled up. I got vertigo and, the room's spinning. So I go downstairs. I call Tom. First person I called. And, I said, hey man, you gotta take me to the hospital. He said, I can't do that. I can't do that. And he wouldn't take me, you know, and, I was like, dude, I'm really fucked up. And he told me, get the cobwebs out of my head. My brain's bleeding still, people. All right. My brain is bleeding. I'm deaf in this ear. This ear's ringing outrageously. This fucking face is swelled up here. And I'm sitting there on the phone getting told not to go to the hospital. Okay. With a bleeding brain. Knowing damn right well, because they were there that night. Or the night before. You know what I mean? They're the ones that were there. Jeff Green drove me there. And left me there. So not only did he kill Sean Lyons, murder him. May so rest in peace. He half murdered me. Got me murdered halfway. So I'm half murdered. So Green, you can hire somebody to fucking take me out, you pussy ass bitch. Or you can fucking, you want to pull your, WWE yelling shit, running around, waving your arms and shit, jumping up and down, man. You know what I mean? Stay away from me. I'm going to say that. So, don't, but I didn't, well, how don't you realize, right, that the person that you rode there with and the people that you knew left you there for dead, and it don't dawn on you that, hey, you want to ask them why? And I never did. They come up with these stories that was, some had the cops there. If cops were there, and a deputy sheriff's laying there with a bleeding brain, they're probably going to throw me in an E-squad, you know, take me to the hospital for shits and giggles. But that didn't happen. So I called my sister after Tom wouldn't take me to the hospital. So I know he had involvement in it or he was at something. So my sister picks me up. She's right there. She takes me to the hospital. They do a CAT scan at Wheeling Hospital, Wheeling, West Virginia. I live in Ohio. You got to cross the river. They said my brain's bleeding. They got to rush me to Morgantown, West Virginia. So they put me in the back of E Squad. We drive down there. I was in Morgantown for 2 weeks. My brain, the blood started dissipating, so they didn't have to cut my skull open. But I was in and out of consciousness for 2 weeks down there. And the end result is deafness in the left ear, constant tinnitus, ringing at very high pitch, involuntary eye movement, anxiety, depression, and a few other things. You know, a broken face, can't talk right, people talk shit. You know, the fact that it led to this now, that incident, you know, this is my life. These guys left me for dead. Alright? Now, and I don't give a shit about your names either, man. Honestly. What names? You know? So, anyway. I get out of the hospital. I don't know what the heck's going on. What the fuck's going on. So, I got this house I know in the country, right? And it's like a revolving door. It's like a revolving door. So, that's going on. But Tom's there with me the whole time. You know, I ended up fucking over my best friend I grew up with, my blood brother. You know, for Tom, and I'll get to that, because I let Tom fuck my blood brother's girlfriend in my house. Cheating on his wife at the same time. So, yeah, integrity. On both our parts. So I got this house. Tom's like my sidekick, right? You know what I mean? He's there with me the whole time because he's cheating on his wife. You know, 3 different girls during the span of my house being up there. So, yeah, you know. And that was like the cocaine palace, man. After I fucking got my shit fucking whacked. That was a party central. And I ain't saying that dude fucking does cocaine. I'm saying that I did. Alright? Now, I did so much cocaine that I should have fucking flew to the moon. You know what I mean? But, it just ended up ruining my life. But these guys, my point is, these guys ended up turning their back on me because of that. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I ain't saying they were involved in my, partying activities. But they were involved in turning their fucking back on me. Because of it. You know, take me to rehab, send me down. Not one thing, man. Not even a try to get me, hey, man, you're going to be fucked, or you're already fucked, or you're going down the wrong road. None of that. None of that. Just back turns, fuck you, you're out of control, I got brain damage, everybody's treating me like a fucking idiot. Like all that shit was my fault I was doing back then. And in the meantime, you know, my daughter's 2 states away, 2 hours away, alright, in the mix of all this shit. So I got all this shit going on, right? I don't even know if I'm divorced at this point in my story. So, okay, hold on. And I forgot, Tom almost beat Jeff Green up my house one night, man. Everybody in there got an argument. Green's doing his fucking, this dude's got his arm broke because of fucking, it's called karma. He's got his arm broke because of that car wreck he killed Sean Man Lyons, and, Lord rest his soul. And, he walk around, he does his WWE shit. Well, Tom, he's actually, you know what I mean, we were wrestling partners. He's one of the toughest wrestlers I ever wrestled. So he would have took Green and just beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? But I stopped it because I already knew. But I shouldn't have stopped it. Looking back, that was one of the dumbest things I did. I should have beat Green's ass then. We both should have. Left him in my house. And went out, come back, and, you know, I don't know what the fuck. Dude must broke in or something. But that didn't happen. Because Green then busted in my house, I think, that night or something. Yeah, people. It was nuts. So, I'm going through life, and I'm sitting in bars most of the time. And in my 20s, there was a lot going on. A lot. You know what I mean? I was in and out of town. I was working out of town. I was doing commercial roofing. That's the only job I could hold it together on, because they gave me leniency if I needed a break, needed to, take the half a day or whatever. And most companies wouldn't help me like that with my head injury, but they did. So I was able to do that. We worked on Louisville, Kentucky. We worked, I was in Indiana, Louisville, Virginia, a few other places, man. But I was partying the whole time, okay. So I'm going through life, people. I'm gonna fast forward all this time, right? All this time from then and till this year, I didn't realize this about people leaving me. Now, I had a spiritual awakening 5 years ago. I'm not going to get into that on this, but when that happened, a lot of things started happening. But I realized, but God's 100 in control at this point. He's got the wheel. We got free will and passive stuff, but in my court, in my car, God's got the wheel, man. So, obviously, everybody thinks they're going to get away with one. All them times, man, just sitting there with these idiots. And never even thought. Having this false sense of trust. Never even thought. Oh, maybe you should ask them why they left you for fucking dead, dumbass. So tell me God wasn't repressing that. Not one time did I ask anybody that. Not even that dumbass Green I was with. It was a liability that night. I rode there with that idiot. Now, God bless him, painting asphalt for a living. He's out of state somewhere, making fucking buku fucking money, probably a millionaire by now, because he's gonna fucking be stretched, burnt, froze, and eternally fucking twisted, amen, in God, Jesus Christ's name, God, amen, for eternity, amen. I'm God's gangster, Green. So I'm going to say a prayer. Yeah, it's a prayer. So I'm going to pray. So, I don't know, Green. You're such a bad apple. I don't know if we could trust the bloodline. From past to present and everything in existence. I ought to eliminate your whole fucking family tree, man. Send them to Tartarus. And then hell. Eternal life. That's what God does, man. It's come down to that. Yeah. So. In the name of Jesus Christ, Almighty God, amen. So, that's just prayer, man. I think that's karma. I say a prayer. You get away with 2 counts, 1.5 counts of murder. So, we'll go with that. And YouTube, I'm talking to Facebook right now, too. That's what I mean. It's kind of chopped up. So, just, you know what I'm saying? There's people I know might get the message, and then you guys are just tuning in to me. So, my YouTube channel wasn't doing all. It still ain't doing good, but it was. I figured it out. So I turned to drugs and alcohol. At 22, or at 20, no, wait, 30? At 30, I'm going to fast forward, man. I hook up with a girl I had a crush on my whole life for 2.5 years, lived with me in my grandparents' house with my handicapped aunt, left her husband for me, lived 2 hours away, left her husband for me, came and lived with me for 2.5 years, then left me, alright? Now, we'll get to this. Now, when she cheated on me and left me, she got a nursing degree and bounced, alright? And, that was that. Well, I lost my mind. So, I just wanted to die. You know what I mean? And, I drank, and I drank and drank and drank. Which caused, a lot of problems, later on, but nothing rehab couldn't settle, you know? It's going to be, let's see, I don't know how many months this went. I was trying to be specific. All right, now here we go. All right, good. Now she left, people. So I got the brain damage. I'm going through life, you know, totaling vehicles. I'm, you know, coke and booze, man. That's all I cared about. My daughter I barely seen. I had, you know, neglected her, even with brain damage. I fucked up, big time. But I get all fucked up one day, right? And I'm all heartbroken over my ex that just left. So I'm back in the woods by my house. I live right by a highway. I'm in the woods just after all this shit happened, right? And there's a lot more in my life. That's what I mean. But I split, or a log. I remember what happened. A log I stepped on, just, it was like somebody grabbed it and poof, but there was nobody there. But poof, and I swoofed off this cliff, just like, shh. And I looked over at the cliff, and I never in my life not had a way out somehow. I looked at that cliff, and there's no way I'm going to float over there. And I'm like, I don't know how many feet. I'm too far to get back. And then I just remember landing. I slammed my face off all these rocks, and I'm laying on my back, people. And I'm looking up at this cliff. It's like, I roofed for a lot of years, right? This cliff, I ain't shitting you, is between 30 and 50 feet. Okay? So, I'm laying there waiting to come out of my body because I just died. And, I was a little nervous on that to see what the hell was happening there. Well, I didn't. So I'm laying there, and I tried to get up. All right, I didn't know what was wrong with me. At this point, I got 3 bulging discs, a compressed fractured T12 vertebrae 50%, and 5 broken ribs. Okay? And, I gotta leave a lot of, this section of the story out for legal reasons. So, let's just say I crawled to the highway, okay? I got taken to the hospital, all right? The first responder found me, took me to the hospital. In the hospital, I sold a caught because I was being irate with my injuries. So I ended up getting an assault charge, and I had to do 18 months in prison for that. They took me to jail. I owned jail and prison with all them injuries, right? So, I get out of prison, and I moved back to my grandparents' house. All right, at this point, now I got hooked on meth, I'm smoking crack, and I'm drinking, okay, with this girl I met at Wheeling and brought home. I just got out of prison, right? I'm doing all this shit. I never fucked with meth or crack before. So this lasted like a month, I'm going to say. 3 weeks, a month, something like that. I had to kick her out because she's nuts. So anyway, this started a whole new road for me as far as being, you know, screwed. So I ended up leaving that house I lived in in with my own grandparents' house. I moved into my parents' duplex. I still can't work. Ain't got my, you know what I mean? It's just fucked in life. So when I'm there, I started trying to go to rehab, and I went to detox about 1,000,000 times, and then I finished rehab, went sober living, screwed up, came home. This is after my mom passed, though. I didn't get sober till my mom passed. And a couple things got me sober, man. My daughter, my mom, and this Bible verse I'm about to show you. I opened the Bible with Detox one day. I had a Bible group going on damn near every morning. And during the day, whenever they see me sitting at the table or anybody, we'd join or whatever. So I was pretty much in charge of that when I was in Detox. So one morning, I was sitting there by myself, though, just sat down, and I opened the Bible. I opened the Bible randomly, like this. Okay? Now, when I did that, it landed on Isaiah 5:11 I looked at. Okay? Now, it's so important, I got it tattooed on my freaking neck. Isaiah 5:11, right? This is how it reads. Cursed are those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks and wine till they stay up late to be inflamed. Till they stay up late at night to be inflamed. Cursed are those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks and wine and stay up late to be inflamed. Now, that's exactly what I was doing. And I sat back in my seat, and instead of leaving detox for the 100th time, I went to rehab. Took 5 rehabs, but I haven't drank in like 4 years, between 3 and 4 years. All right. Now, I smoke weed. I'm on probation right now, so I can't do shit, which, that's good. But, I don't have my freedom. You know what I'm saying? So, if I want to go get some mushrooms even, I can't do that till, you know what I mean? Now I'm on probation for some, I ain't gonna get into that, but, it ain't worth it, So, so here we are. Now, here we are now. Last year, 5 years ago, I had a spiritual awakening. And I've been spreading the word ever since. And some other things. So it's all going to be on YouTube. I'm going to do just YouTube later, like when I figure out one more thing. So that's my life, though. That's just a glimpse that's a fast forward. But I want to let them guys fuck off, man. You know what I'm saying? Right there, guys. If they ever see this shit, which they will, bitch about it. But I don't give a fuck. Because looking back, it was all fake. I got used. I got taken advantage of. I got left for dead. I got hooked on cocaine. And ended up walking by myself. And definitely lost my job at deputy sheriff, people. Because of the brain damage. That was over with. For sure. I couldn't work doing shit. So, but that's my life, man. I didn't want to tell people to fuck off because, that Jeff Green, man, he's just a piece of shit. You know what I mean? He makes me want to fucking puke every time I think about his fucking punk ass. Fucking mouth. Motherfucker. Drive me to a bar and then leave me for dead after I get beat to death. Literally. You know what I mean? Nobody lives with a bleeding brain and a broken face, alright? But a bleeding brain, my wrestling, coming up being a wrestler my whole life, is why I could handle myself the way I did through life. So people just ignore the hidden injury and try to say that I'm a bum and, I'm an alcoholic because all I did was drink. No shit, I got brain damage, tinnitus. My fucking head tilts because of the ringing in one ear. You know what I mean? I had one doctor put me on Xanax for 15 years, and I got taken off that when I went to prison. That was a bitch. Never go on that again. But I was in limbo. Xanax and booze. What the fuck? My whole, till I was, 35? From 21 to 35? I'm still pulling it together a little bit. You know? But things are looking up, and I'm on a journey, spiritual journey, and there's going to be a lot of that on YouTube, coming up. So, know that. But, that's just like an introduction to me. So, you know, I had a screwed up life, but I've been through a lot of shit, racking up a lot of people. You know, if you want to comment, or, inbox, whatever, about alcohol, drugs, rehab, doing them, you know, stuck, brain damage, traumatic brain injury. You know, if you got a traumatic brain injury and nobody understands, hey, because that's the people I'm gonna try to get in contact with somebody so I can talk to people with brain damage that just had it, and that way they ain't gotta go through shit. Maybe I can tell people, hey, why don't you fucking do this for them and set this shit up for them, because they're not thinking right, or they can't do that, and their fucking balance is off, or you know, they can't think straight, dude. They got short-term memory loss, and people just fucking don't. You know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes. But for the most part, it says spread the word, living again, acceptance. Which I got all that, because, you know, damn. So, So, like I said, upcoming, fuck you guys. God bless.